So hey guys, and welcome back to another movie review. Yes, I'm finally back doing film reviews. This is kind of the start of the season for me. All the good films or Oscar-worthy films seem to be coming out around now, so hopefully I'll be having a lot more reviews up from now. So today I'm reviewing one of my most anticipated films of the year, Gone Girl by David Fincher. So Gone Girl is a mystery thriller film directed by David Fincher, and it's based on the book by Gillian Flynn, and she also wrote the screenplay for the film. And the movie stars Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike in the leading roles. So the basic story that we're given through the trailers is Nick Dunn, who is Ben Affleck's character, and his wife, Amy Dunn. It's on their 5th wedding anniversary and she goes missing, and everyone suspects that, or eventually suspects that he killed his wife. So that's the basic plot, and it kind of unravels halfway through the film. You find out what really happened. So this is a movie I can't really talk too much about without spoiling it, because I know people want to see this film and not know who the murderer was or what actually happened. So what I will say about the film is it went for 2.5 hours, but it didn't feel like it went that long. It felt probably just more like a standard 2-hour film, which is good. David Fincher's directing was beautiful once again. His filmography all just has perfect cinematography throughout, and this film just looks brilliant the whole way through. And the soundtrack by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, I think this is their third collaboration with David Fincher now. It's just really outstanding, and they've really outdone themselves with the uniqueness of the soundtrack. I thought it was just handled really well and sounded really unique. And as with most David Fincher films, it's a very dark, gritty mystery thriller film that throws you a lot of twists and turns throughout the film that you're not expecting. And that's kind of why I can't talk too much about the plot, because there's a lot of twists about halfway through the movie that just keep coming and coming until the end that you're not expecting, and they change up the whole view that you had on the film before you'd seen it. You're expecting something, then you get something completely different. So this probably wasn't one of David Fincher's best movies. It was one of his probably moderately good movies. It's definitely not with the lower range like Alien 3 and Panic Room and all that, but it's one of his good, solid films. So the cast also includes Neil Patrick Harris, who plays Rosamund Pike's character's ex-boyfriend. You've got Tyler Perry, who is Nick Dunn's lawyer throughout the case, and Carrie Coon plays Nick Dunn's sister in the film. So this film kind of depicts the worst marriage possible. It just shows you how in love they were before they were married, and then as time went on they eventually began to hate each other, and that's all seen in the trailers, but in the film it just grows so much more. So the film also had this really dark comedy type vibe to it that you kind of get from American Psycho, and it was kind of unexpected but really well handled in the film. And it's just like kind of one of those scenes where you think it shouldn't be there, but it kind of works for the film in that way. So I thought the humour in the film was kind of handled really well also. So one of the reasons I really wanted to see this movie is because it's a David Fincher film, and he makes really weird, out there thriller movies, but they're not your standard run-of-the-mill thriller films, which are really good because it's not what you come to expect when you see a horror or a thriller film. It's something completely different that throws you off, and this film definitely had that. It had a very off-tilt kind of vibe to it that just didn't seem right, but it worked for the film. So I'm going to recommend Gone Girl to any David Fincher fan. Ben Affleck was great in the movie. I think it's probably his best role that I've seen him in. I think his performance was just outstanding. And Rosamund Pike, she normally has a lot smaller roles. I've only seen her in a few films, but she did really well in this movie. So I really enjoyed Gone Girl for what it was, and I'm going to give it a very high A-. So thanks for watching my quick review of David Fincher's new film Gone Girl. I hope you guys can check it out and write in the comments section what you thought as well. It'd be interesting to let me know. It'd be great if you could subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. And hopefully later in the week or next week I'll be doing a top 10 David Fincher films video, because this is now the 10th film that he's released. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later.